Recently, I've been really feeling called to share myself more, share my stories, especially of travel, share my healing, being feeling called to be a healer, things like that. But I really felt this like huge waves of fear coming around this fear of showing my true self, fear of sharing my message, fear of worthiness, fear of like, oh, but there's already so many healers out there, all these things. What I have to say, is it really like worthy? Is it really gonna help people? Are people gonna like it? Like, am I gonna get burned at the stake for being an intuitive female? Fear of everything that society has ever placed upon us and taught us about our worth and about intuition and things like this. And just, of course, of like how it'll be received by others. And so I've been recently traveling through Southeast Asia for months now. And I was in India studying Hinduism, practicing Hinduism. And then I was in Thailand studying Tantra practices, practicing Tantra. And now I'm in Bali, Indonesia, which has their own version of Hinduism. But I've been feeling this calling to study Taoism. And so it keeps serendipitously popping up for me in life. And so a few days ago, the book Tao Te Ching comes to me. And I come to realize that Tao Te Ching is the book that started it all, started Taoism. And it is supposed to be one of the most profound books to ever be written. Profound of its time, profound of this moment. And it is this tiny, adorable little book, really thin, probably around 140 pages, made up of all of these tiny little poems. And originally in Chinese, it's estimated to be around like 5,000 characters. And so I go and I buy this book and I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's so little, like what? This is amazing. And I'm reading the backstory behind the author, Lao Tzu. Now, Lao Tzu is supposedly a sage, a Chinese sage, back around, again, 5000 BC, that was studying amongst other sages his whole life, or at least most of his life. And around the age of 80, he was so disheartened with humanity that he decided to walk himself out of China and into the mountains. And as he's on his way walking out and into the mountains, the guard that had to like let him out, let him into the mountains, convinces him, just please, please, please write down your teachings. And so Lao Tzu is convinced and decides to quickly write down his 5,000 characters in Chinese, this book of tiny poems. And it ends up becoming one of the most profound books ever written. It ends up starting the entire religion of Taoism, which then Taoism is influencing Hinduism, and Hinduism influencing Taoism. Taoism is influencing Tantra practices, and Tantra goes on to influence Taoism more. And wild. And I had this beautiful aha moment when I realized that Lao Tzu was most likely struggling with something that all of us struggle with. Feeling surrounded by all these other sages, feeling like, how can I make a difference? Feeling so disheartened by humanity, never feeling comfortable to share his message and his teachings, maybe focus on his own path of enlightenment. Whatever it was, it took him at the age of 80 going to leave and live into the mountains and this random guard to convince him to write down his teachings for his lessons to get out into the world. And to think that these lessons turned into not only this book, Tao Te Ching, but a whole entire religion of Taoism that then goes on to influence Hinduism, goes on to influence Tantra, and this man could have lived his whole life and never shared his lessons. And I feel so related to that. And it was such an inspiration for me of, you know what? Maybe my teachings go nowhere. Maybe nobody listens. Maybe I get rejected and society rejects me. But I still want to try. I still want to share what I believe and share my messages and my stories from traveling the world with other people, because why not? Because if I just get disheartened by myself and the world and I just end up in the mountains in solitude and I never share my message, then I've already failed because I've never even tried. So let's try, let's fail, and let's see what happens. Because at least trying has the potential to bring some success as well, whatever your definition of success is. But yeah, so the story of Lao Tzu really inspired me, and I thought that maybe it would inspire other people too.